Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. What I realize as I'm editing this vlog that I haven't told you about the first time I was in New Orleans. I was a high school senior, and the school was given a computer that sat in the physics classroom. I hated physics, but I liked the computer and I was attracted to it. I'm like, And we were told that the person who could best explain the software on the computer would win a prize. We weren't told what the prize was. Well, it turns out that I could explain the software better than any other student, and so the prize that I got was a trip to New Orleans for a week. It was a part of a government program, and was here for the National Meteorological Society convention, and it was a lot of fun. I've always been doing what I do. I don't think I can consider doing anything else. Time to tear down. Gotta leave my hotel room before heading off to the convention center for my keynote address. You know, in all of my years of doing things in public, and being in the public eye, I've only faced one troll. Someone who had trolled me pretty hard. This is a few years back, before YouTube existed. And he came up to me, this big guy, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? And he apologized. He said, I'm sorry. I was going through a tough time in my life, and I don't know why I was angry at you, but I was. And I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I took it in, and of course I forgave him. And after that moment, it became a bit more easy for me to deal with trolls, knowing that they would probably never meet me in real life and say the same things that they bother to say online.
Can you show the light, please?
Let's just see if I'm the first one here. I'm just a little early, an hour or so. The escalators are working today. They're all full lights! There are, really. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I really the only one who got that? I know you're probably wondering, why is this 13-year-old staying on stage and actually a few months shy of 40? But I'm passionate about technology and how technology connects us with one another. And I've never had a problem talking to other people, unlike many geeks out there. We're very awkward. I can still be awkward, don't get me wrong. If that moment happens during this presentation, feel free to tweet it. I could be described as an infotainer. I love taking in information, digesting it, and then spitting it back out and trying to translate it for other people, to synthesize what I've learned, and to better explain it. I do this for myself. I also do it for other businesses. That's how I guess I make my living from being myself. And if social media is anything, it's not the platforms, it's the people. It's the personality that you have, that you exude. And even if you tell me you have no personality, you do, it's there. And when you tie that into content, there's a greater chance of people wanting to connect with you. There are newspapers and bigger brands now that are starting to get that idea, realizing that people aren't so keen on going to a particular website as much as they are connecting with a certain reporter, correspondent, a name that they trust. That was fun. Now I'm going to spend some time editing the next vlog and removing whatever crud has landed on my touchpad. I'm going to be interviewed by Chris Johnston. Hey there. Like the Chris Johnston that you might know on Twitter as Chris Johnston.
Yeah, I only have like 6,500 or so followers. Probably more since Chris just retweeted me a few minutes ago.
Yeah, well, you took a picture of the presentation, or at least part of it, and I appreciated that. I went on a retweeting spree this morning from, what happened on stage. Technology is not a destination, it's an enabler. Very few people are entertained with technology or want to talk about it or, have this experience with it, much like geeks would. So geeks are my community, but a greater part of the audience
who appreciates my knowledge at a deeper level are those who don't understand what it is that geeks know. And so my job, if I have a job, is to translate geek into English. I assume there are more people out there who don't subscribe to me and know me than who do subscribe to me and know me. And so how do I calculate that number? It's still a part of influence, but it's not something that can be easily measured.
When in Rome, or New Orleans, this is probably the most creative elevator I've ever seen. And now not seen.
Welcome to Atlanta, local time 7:52.
What the hell is that? This package of cashews, only 74 bucks. That's a bargain. Oh God, not again. Alright, does anybody remember where I parked? I'm tired, I have a headache, I have a tummy ache, and I gotta drive home. The plane ride was a little bumpy. A little bumpier than I would have wanted it to be, but I made it. I'm not sure which hurts more right now, my head or my tummy. Oh, this going round and around and around is not gonna help either one. Are you happy to see Daddy? Yeah. Okay, let's go to bed. Thanks again for liking and sharing all our videos.